I want to welcome everyone here for the first of our 3 evening summer meetings. I know it's difficult for the working folks among us to attend the lunch meetings, so we're offering the evening meetings during the summer months to make attending easier for some of us. In July, we welcome an expert on Christian nationalism. I think you'll find it very enlightening, and I hope you can join us on July 13th. She's an expert on this topic, and she traces it back to slavery and the Civil War. So it's always been with us, and it's with us again. So, and again, if it's going to impact you younger people much more than us old women. So, you might want to pay attention. We always have a lot of late registrations and walk-ins, and we want to make everyone feel welcome. So if you're coming in late, if you have an empty seat at your table, raise your hand, put a sticky note on one of your table things. That's awesome. I think we're good, but let make everyone feel welcome if you have an empty seat. Thank you. Primary days tomorrow, and we'll have a full slate of candidates for the midterm November election. The turnout has been amazing. Thank you to everybody who voted. Amazing. And I was telling Charity Jones that she's a poll worker, and I don't think we could run elections in South Carolina without Black women. They run those polls, and they run them like a machine. I went to McAllister Square on the last day to vote, and I was in and out of there in like 15, 20 minutes. It was amazing and very smooth. So I appreciate all the poll workers, all the poll watchers, and all the people who voted. So tomorrow, we will have the full slate for the midterm November election. Democratic Women will continue its long history of providing material support for candidates, but with some changes. Earlier this year, the membership approved changes to our bylaws to specifically deal with how our group provides financial support to candidates. On June 10th, we will open up a 1-month application period. Candidates will be invited to complete an application that will be accessible on our website. The application includes a few requirements that every candidate must meet to be eligible for assistance. The remainder of the questions are rated on a scale. Candidates who achieve a score at or above 45 of 50 will be eligible for funding. A board committee will review the final scores to determine the amounts based on our available budget. The final list and amounts will then be approved by the full board and distributed to the candidates. Our goal in this new process is to ensure we're putting your money to work for the most viable candidates in the best positions to win. We will use other funds to support all our candidates through digital marketing campaigns, social media, and perhaps even billboards. We want to thank Councilman Dorothy Dow and Shelley Deason for their indispensable help in developing a strong set of questions and a scoring scale. Special thanks to Shelley's daughter, Julia, for devising the rubric, and to board member Parma Irvin, back there, wave your hand, for turning those ideas into a functional form and reporting system. We appreciate their expertise in reforming this process, and I think it'll be a much smoother process, and I think it'll be a much fairer process for all. June is Pride Month, and Democratic Women chose to celebrate with one of our allies, the Queer Wellness Center. But first, a little history. Same-sex marriage became legal nationwide in the U.S. on June 26, 2015. Following the landmark Supreme Court decision in Obergefell versus Hodges. The White House, if you'll remember, was lit up in rainbow colors, and it felt like the entire country was celebrating. 11 years later, Supreme Court justices like Clarence Thomas are openly advocating for the repeal of that verdict. The steady progress that had been made towards sexual orientation equality is eroding, and thanks to Trump's open discrimination of our LGBTQ friends, is widely accepted and encouraged. My own conscience was awakened in 2007. I was working as a radio news director and morning show co-host at the time. Sean Kennedy, a handsome, openly gay man, was knocked to the ground outside a Greenville bar by another male patron who objected to Kennedy's open sexuality. Sean died as a result of his injuries in that encounter. I subsequently met and became friends with Sean's mother, Elkie Kennedy, who worked tirelessly to pass a hate crimes bill in South Carolina, which to this day we still do not have. South Carolina is one of 4 states that has no laws against hate crimes. My awareness of the struggle faced by those who identify as trans deepened recently when my nephew announced he was transitioning. After the shock wore off, I found my niece to have an inner peace and serenity that hadn't been present before. I felt her newfound confidence and transparency about who she was brought her back into the light. For those who think this decision to transition is made lightly or without a serious struggle, I would ask you to think again. As a liberal feminist, I consider myself really progressive. But as a recovering Catholic, I also struggle with traditional beliefs that seem outmoded in today's world. I like to think we're all on this journey together, learning from each other and hopefully growing more tolerant of our differences. We hope today's program will expand your awareness and understanding of the LGBTQ community, but first, a few other housekeeping items. Our 50/50 nonprofit for July is Soteria, and here to speak about Soteria is the founder, Jerry Blassingame. Jerry?
Thank you, Roxanne. Good evening, everyone. Thank y'all for having me tonight. I'm just here to just share a little bit about Soteria, our nonprofit. I founded Soteria 27 years ago. Because of my own story, I was released from prison. I was sentenced to 20 years in 1995 for several drug charges. I only did 3.5 years on that sentence because I told God if he let me out, I'll serve him. And 27 years later, I'm still serving him and serving him well. We serve men and women who are coming home from prison. Most of the men and women that come home from prison have nothing. What they do is give them a bus ticket back to the place where they were sentenced. Greenville County is the #1 committing county in the state. We commit more people to the Department of Corrections than any other county. We get about 215 individuals per month. Those are the people who are sentenced here, not including the ones that just come here for all of the resources that we have in our county. We have 13 transitional housing beds here in Greenville, 16 for men, 16 for women, and we also build and develop low-income housing for those and their families who are returning home from prison as well. And people always ask me, Jerry, why are you doing so much entrepreneurial things? Because 27 years ago, no one would give a black man with a criminal background anything. So I decided that I needed to become a sustainable organization and that we needed to make our own money. So I'm proud that the people that graduate our program, men and women, we have a 0% recidivism rate. No one returns back to prison. So thank you. So I'm very thankful that y'all have chosen Soteria for July for the 50/50. And I think there will be some QR codes for y'all to scan. And please help us out. We continue to need resources to help the men and women that are coming home from prison. And we also proud to have done some donations of a cornhole board for auction for you all as well. And so we'll continue to partner and do great things. So thank you all, and y'all have a great evening, okay? And I also have some brochures if anyone want to read more about our organization. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Jerry. Jerry also has written a memoir that we did for our book club, and it's very inspirational. And I find Jerry to be a inspirational story, and I hope you will support him in July. In November, our membership will elect a new slate of officers. Shelley Deasen's heading up the nominating committee, and she has an update on that process. Shelley, where you are? Are you here? Yeah, you're here. Come on. Oh, okay. Janet Lamica. Okay. Janet's going to give us an update. Okay. There you go.
I'm Janet Lamica, and I am with the nominating committee. And I'd like to introduce you to the rest of our group. And Shelley Deason is the chair. Catherine Algery is here, and Chanel Parks is way in the back. Briefly, I'll describe the duties of each leadership position. Fortunately, 3 current officers have volunteered to remain in their positions. Second vice president and membership is Susan Stewart, who you saw out front. She's at the door. Leslie Fathom is here also. She's our secretary. And there she is. And Terry Morton, you saw her at the front too, is our treasurer. So there are 3 positions left. Listen carefully and take a look. Some of these might appeal to you. More importantly, if you're teachable and trainable, we can use you to support these positions or maybe some other supporting position. For president, primarily to preside over our monthly membership meetings and the organization's board of directors meetings. Be an ex officio member of all committees except the nominating committee. And establish and appoint members of ad hoc committees as needed. Currently, our president is not here with us tonight, but is Laura Haight. First vice president will preside in the absence of the president and serve as chair of the program committee, currently held by Roxanne Cordner. And third vice chair will serve as chair of advocacy and community action committee. And our current person in that position is Evelyn Nocella, and she is there also. All board members should attend regularly scheduled board meetings and work as part of an effective team. Elections will be held electronically for active members, and elected officers will be installed at the January membership meeting. If you have any other questions, you can contact Shelley. Her phone number is right up there, or you can talk to any of the membership committee, the nominating committee, or the current leadership team. Thank you.
Okay, if your president's in good health, hopefully the first vice chair will not have to preside. So I want to offer that up. And I also think the program thing that's my passion, and it's a lot of fun. And, I just do stuff that I'm interested in. So it's kind of a selfish thing. We launched a membership drive a few months ago, and we offered a prize to the member who recruited the most new members. Here with an update on that is membership chair Susan Stewart.
We think you're doing a great job.
Thank you very much, Susan.
I have a public service question versus an announcement. How many people already voted? Hot damn! Woo! How many brave people work in the polls tomorrow? Yay! Thank you. Thank you. A couple of us crazy people. I'll call you. I'll be up at 5 also.
There you go.
So thank you for doing that. So this big giant box, we were so hopeful that it would be full, but instead we have a few people that did such a swell job. They each got the same number of new members. So we're going to ask somebody to please pull a name.
I like that. Thank you so much. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, good. No glasses on for me.
Oh,
Let's see if I can read it.
One second. I'll help you out.
Marie
Marie
Henry.
Henry. Are you here, Marie? Marie is not here. Okay. Marie gets $100 gift certificate. We had a lot of people who recruited the same number of members, so we're going to give her that. I'm going to give you that.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks to everybody who spread the word and brought in new members. We appreciate it. The midterm elections are coming up fast, and Democratic Women hopes to be able to financially support an array of candidates. But in order to do that, we got to raise some money. Michaela Freeman is our arrangements chair, and she's also a member of the fundraising committee. And they're planning a special event. Michaela will fill us in on that. Come on, girl. There you go. Oop.
Hello. Thanks for making it out in the evening, everybody. All right. I'm not going to touch that. This is our fundraiser for 2026. We are really excited about it. We are hosting it on August 13th, which is a Thursday evening from 6 to 9 p.m. For those of you who may be thinking, well, I don't really golf, that's okay. We're going to have a great time. There's drinks, there's food. We're going to have a little music. We're going to have a little dancing. We're going to have all your friends there. So it's going to be a fabulous time. So we'd love for everyone to come out. And if you've got a partner or a spouse or a, kid or a friend that likes to golf also, golfing is included in your ticket as well. So all attendees will have the option to play a little bit of golf as well as have some complimentary drinks and a little bit of food. And we'll have our own space where we can party it up a little bit. all for an excellent cause. We, of course, have quite a few races that are running this year per the discussion about elections tomorrow. So we need to raise funds to support all of those elections. We are looking to get billboards for some of the Democratic races this year, as well as online campaigns and several other things to support those Democratic candidates that are running in those elections. And all of that requires money. So if you really, really hate golf, or anybody in this room, you can donate. But it would be way more fun for you to come and party with us, play a little bit of golf. If you haven't been to Top Golf, there's even a really silly little digital Angry Birds game where you just try to hit the birds with the golf ball. You do not have to be good at golf. Okay, so it is very much for everybody. I would love to see everyone attend. There is a QR code on the screen. And if you have any questions, I will be here during the event and at all of our other meetings, and we will be sending out continued communication and reminders. So talk to your friends, get some tickets, and we look forward to seeing all of you on August 13th.
I've been on a million fundraising committees, so I always appreciate a great idea. And my friend Bernadine Atkins is on the committee, and she said, I don't even play golf. And I went to one of those and I had a great time. So I thought that was a wonderful endorsement. Democratic Women's always trying to assist our allies and raise our own profile by participating in special events around town. We have 2 volunteer opportunities this month, and here to give us details are board members Linda Hardman and our secretary, Leslie Fadum. Leslie, Linda, come on up.
Actually, I don't really need any volunteers because I'm going to be at the Juneteenth Greenville Health or Wellness event, and this is on Saturday, June 20th. And I already have one volunteer, and I think that that's really enough. We're just going to be there from 9 to 12, and handing out swag or selling swag, and maybe doing some voter registration or looking up voter registrations. So I think we're good on that. And it's also, it's at Yeehaw Brewing. It is not at Unity Park. So come to Yeehaw Brewing and check us out. What is?
Right.
Downtown.
Just past the bridge on the right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, because I didn't know where it was. Okay, thank you.
Let me get this little thing. Hang on, there's always this little. There we go. I cannot tell you how great it is to look out over this group and, think back to the times that when I first joined and we met at the YWCA with like 2 of these tables. But now that we've increased our numbers so much, and I know that you had a huge part in shaping that redistricting thing that we had come before the legislature by casting your vote in the primary and letting them know exactly where we stood. So thank you for that. But I want also let you know that we have this really great opportunity, Democratic Women does, to support our LGBTQ community at the Gay Pride Festival on Saturday, January 27th. And our table will be, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Gosh, you really would have time to think about it, wouldn't you? Sorry, old age thing. But June the 27th, thank you. And it will be from 11 to 5. So I need volunteers for different shifts on that date. We will have a tent set up right near the Peace Center. That was near where we were last year. And we will have
an opportunity for people to come by and join our organization, and also to register to vote. I would love for you, again, to sign up for a shift. I'll be right near the front here after the meeting, and you can come and indicate what time that you want to work. It's exciting, it's fun, because it's a fun festival, and everybody that comes has a great time. So I'll be looking for you to join me. Thank you so much.
It is a lot of fun. I'm glad you said that. 'Cause it's a blast, man. All right. So see Linda, if you want to volunteer, and we appreciate you. I'm hoping tonight's speakers spark some questions. And as these occur to you, please use the note cards at your table to jot down your questions, and we'll collect them at the conclusion of the speaker's remarks, and we'll have a little question answer after they finish. Our first speaker is Eric Ko. He became a board member of the Queer Wellness Center in January 2026, where he currently serves as External Affairs Committee. He often volunteers with the Queer Wellness Center at their events to help raise awareness of their services. Eric is the founder of the website HQ Greenville, which consolidates a calendar of events aimed at the LGBTQ community. Professionally, Eric's a physical therapist. He and his wife have a precocious and gorgeous 4-year-old daughter.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And also, I'd like to mention I'm in my 30s because multiple people have asked how old I am. So, yes, I know. I get that a lot, and my dad got that a lot too. So, thank you. Yeah, I'm a board member of the Queer Wellness Center. And actually, I do have a story that kind of intersects with what has happened to someone I was personally working with. And it's a bit of a tragic story with a happy ending, though. But she was openly transitioning in high school and was attacked by someone. And whenever you're involved in an assault case, most of the time the police will take both people in order to like question and potentially charge. And so as a trans woman, she was charged even though she was defending herself, and then held in jail until she aged over 18, which was within a year. And then they tried her as an adult. And she served, I think, 6 years. But it's like you were saying, after she got out, she had no interest in remaining in North Carolina, which is where she was. So she came here to Greenville, and she actually participated in 2 and currently does of our programs. So if you're like me, when you've heard of the Queer Wellness Center, you have pretty much no idea what we do. Like, so I'll tell you, we actually have 3 main programs. We have several of them, but the 3 main ones. And so the first one, which is our most popular one, is called the LEAP program, and it serves 18 and older individuals who are trans or gender nonconforming and diverse. And it's just a big group of about 40 people, and they have a support specialist, and they just talk and have community and a lot of resources with them. When that first started, Kit, our specialist, did it around like a coffee table, basically. Like it sounds like how some of this started, and it's grown to, close to 40 people, and it keeps growing. So there's a huge need in the community for it. So Kit, who leads that as well, is a peer support specialist, meaning that he does one-on-one services for free. He'll help people navigate name changes, pronoun marker changes, and even just sometimes he goes to people's appointments and sits with them whenever they are in the doctor's office to have someone who's supportive and affirming there. It makes a huge difference. So the other program that's one of our most popular ones is called the Bloom program, and it's for 11 to 17-year-olds. I get a lot of people at our table whenever we table different events coming up because of their kids or grandkids. So that's split into 2 age groups, 11 to 14 and 15 to 17. So if you or anyone you know has younger people in your life, that's a really wonderful group. It's group therapy, so it's supervised by a licensed clinician. And it's where they're a very tight-knit group, and it's a safe place for them. And that group is shrinking because they keep aging out into our other groups, but that's a good thing. But that's a huge resource for that, and a lot of people come up and ask about that. And then our third program, which the woman I worked with used a lot, is we have an association with Prisma Health, and we provide medical services that are primarily right now for adolescents, which is I think 25 or 27 and younger. But it provides general medical services as well as gender affirming services. And that is currently through Prisma right now, but it's medical and psychiatric. So that makes a huge, huge difference to them. We're also going to be at the Pride Festival on the 27th, and that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very hot. So we're our booth, if you ever want to stop by the way, we're going to be at the far end near the stage, near Falls, where Falls Park comes in. And we're going to we aspire to have cold water on us in our tent and handing it out. We did that last weekend at Pride Fest Collab, and we ran out like 3 hours in. So, but we're going to try and have refills this time. So, yes, please, if you have any questions or anything, you can write them down, and I'll do my best to answer them. So, all right. HQ Greenville, yes, okay. So that is the website I run. It is, it's exactly what you said. I just compile all the different events. So I started it about 6 months ago, and it didn't take me that long. And this month it takes me like a lot of time every week. But even probably about 2 or 3 months ago, things have been really expanding. Like the LGBTQ plus community has been really showing up and hosting a lot more events. And it's great to see that, like, it feels like we're at an inflection point. We're optimistic about the future, hopefully, and that this election goes well. We're hearing encouraging things about early voting numbers. But so if anyone you know is interested in that, it's like she said, the website. I'm most active on Instagram. I post every week a collection of what's happening that week, so that people can find community. And I think doing some of that has helped it grow because people are showing up and talking to each other in person, which seems to be somewhat of a dying art. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But okay, do you want me to answer questions now or do? Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
The website is How Queer Greenville, and I think it's like reclaiming that word, like the Queer Wellness Center. So I'm like, okay, you go. Susan Ward's been with PFLAG Greenville for a decade, first as a parent seeking support, then as a board president. Now, as community outreach coordinator, she works with LGBTQIA plus organizations and the public and helps start new chapters in parts of the state that don't have them. And I bet there's a lot of that. Making sure that when someone comes out, they or their family members need support, it's available right in their community. She's also director of the Raider Ward Foundation and on the board of AFFA Action, the 501c4 arm of the Alliance for Full Acceptance. Please welcome Susan Ward.
Thank you. I have some written remarks, but before I start, I just want to tell you a little bit about PFLAG in case you're not familiar. PFLAG is the first and largest organization dedicated to supporting, educating, and advocating for LGBTQIA plus people and their families. Our Greenville chapter was started in 1992 by Leslie Johnson, who's right over here, and her friend Carol Linder. And Margie Candler, who's sitting right next to her, was one of the founding members as well. Everything that I've been able to help with is because of them. So I'm very, very grateful to them. You'll find PFLAG at many Pride events this month. As Eric was saying, we have we have a lot of things going on. We also will be at the Upstate Pride, Colors of Pride on June 27th. We'll be on Main Street, the opposite end of where Eric's going to be. So come see both of us and you'll hit everything in between. So Eric and I talked about not both giving you the same Pride Month information. So my take on Pride Month is going to be more personal, what it means to me and how I got here. This is not ultimately a story of tragedy, although fair warning, there is tragedy in it. I was invited to share my story with y'all a few years back, so some of this will sound familiar to some of you, but there are a few more chapters since then. Exactly 9 years ago today, I woke up in the morning, but I was still in a nightmare. My 15-year-old son, Raider, had taken his life the evening before. His birthday is this Saturday. He would be 25. Those first days and for some time after, I was desperate to connect with other parents who understood what my family was going through. I needed community. I needed to see that someone else had faced the loss of their child and lived to tell, and that there would somehow still be life for me to live. Because it is when Raider died, June, Pride Month, is always a challenge for me. But since losing Raider was one of the catalysts that brought me to advocacy, being overwhelmed with opportunities for advocacy is weirdly helpful toward getting through June every year. I found community when I needed it, and I want to have others help others have it too. So I already had been attending PFLAG since my older child had come out as queer a year earlier before we lost Raider. My surviving child was Raider's only sibling who left to begin college at the end of that summer. 6 months later, over holiday break, he came out to us as transgender, as Raider's brother. At that time, we didn't have a lot of transgender people or their families in our PFLAG chapter. In fact, almost none. So even though I was connected, there wasn't a lot of community. Thankfully, within the next couple of years, more of us found each other, and Greenville First Baptist had started a group for parents. Most of us were also PFLAGers, so PFLAG happily brought the Tea Time Families group under our umbrella. That group is thriving today. We have monthly meetings specifically for people who have a transgender, non-binary, or gender expansive member of their family. It's mostly parents, but it's open to grandparents, adult siblings, partners, anyone who needs support in helping them support their transgender family member. We have a private hidden Facebook group with more than 100 members local to the upstate. We have a signal chat for people who don't like Facebook or just want an additional way to keep in touch. And those two groups are available, of course, 24/7. And then we have our one monthly meeting. Despite this network of support we've built, 3 families I love have left the state of South Carolina in the past few months for the health and safety of their transgender family members. And another friend would have gone if only their house had sold. The statewide network of advocacy organizations that PFLAG belongs to had a lot of success this year, forestalling most of the worst of what the legislature put forth. But the public school and university bathroom bill was signed into law and will make life harder for transgender and gender nonconforming South Carolinians. It's a really scary time to be trans or to be the parent of a trans person. I'm the one the PFLAG Greenville contact forums come into, so all the time I'm on the receiving end of communications from folks whose family members have come out as trans or gender diverse. It's so meaningful to be able to offer them the community and resources that we've built up since my son came out. I had an overwhelmed mom reach out to me by email last Friday. We connected at Pride Fest on Saturday, and we've already been able to start providing her with resources and support. That's part of what keeps me going. I can't solve the problems, but I can help make sure people aren't alone in facing them. Last time I was here, I believe I was focusing my advocacy on 2 causes, one local and one statewide. I have friends in Moms Demand Action and in the Women's Rights and Empowerment Network and a dozen other groups. There are countless causes a progressive can get involved with. But I had determined that trying to do all the things was too much. So at that time for me, freedom to read and the Greenville County Library fight was one, and showing up at the State House to stand up and speak out for the rights of transgender folks was the other. Before I made that decision, I felt called to drive to the State House, and Leslie would go with me, for multiple causes that are important to me. And even if I didn't go, feeling like I should be there was too much. So I picked my lanes, freedom to read and trans rights, and stuck to the path. It kept me busy for the most part, but not stretched too thin. Something I figured out after we lost Raider was that more bad things can still happen. In 2024, I was diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer and had to have a lumpectomy and a month of daily radiation. All things considered, what I went through was mild and my prognosis is excellent, but any cancer diagnosis and treatment is life-changing. And I knew from when we lost Raider that by definition, after a life-changing event, you come out as a different version of yourself on the other side. So my radiation treatments lasted from the 2nd to the 30th of December 2024, every weekday but Christmas. I knew I would have to drop everything off my schedule. So I did, and I got pretty philosophical about it. And I wondered, who was this new post-radiation Susan going to be, and what were her priorities? I was literally starting 2025 with a clean slate. Everything was off my calendar. What would be going on it? Well, if you remember back to December 2024, it was a tough time. The presidential election was just behind us. We were all filled with so much uncertainty, but also determination, right? I saw that in my friends attending PFLAG meetings and on social media. A friend from Charleston happened to be in Greenville for our January PFLAG meeting, and she told me how much she wanted to see a PFLAG chapter established in Charleston. Right after that, another Charleston friend posted on Facebook that she was seeing in her own life how important it was going to be more involved in the community. And did anyone have any ideas for how she could do that? So I connected the two of them together and started a PFLAG Charleston interest group on Facebook that same day. And I invited all the interested people I could think of. Well, Kendra and Sarah both did the same. Watching that group grow just over the next few hours was so energizing. And that's how it hit me. What new Susan was going to spend her time and energy on, starting new PFLAG chapters in parts of the state that didn't have them. So at the most challenging times of my life, community is what got me through. And now I want to make sure that when someone comes out, if they or their loved ones need support, that support is available right in their community. PFLAG Charleston became an official chapter. PFLAG Pickens has been having monthly meetings for a year now. PFLAG Greenwood is coming right along behind. I have good contacts in 2 more cities to start with as soon as this wild ride of Pride Month is behind me. To me, Pride Month is about community, and community is resistance. My entire journey with advocacy has been possible because I've been uplifted by the fact that there are so many amazing people on our side working together for good, including all of you. So thank you.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Wave your cards. Oh, thanks. Mary, would you pick that? Thank you so much. I have a question for Susan. And this is kind of personal, but like every couple days I see on social media, would it bother you if a transgender person went to the bathroom with you? And it's like, we have stalls in there. It's not like, we're in a urinal situation, but it's just so hard to educate people. There's so much negativity about, the doctors are pushing this on people and all that. So help us, try to reach people that aren't hardened about it, but they're just ignorant. Help us.
So people just want to pee, y'all. Trans people are much more likely to suffer violence in a restroom than to cause violence in a restroom. We all know, everyone in this room knows that the people that folks are really scared of is cis men pretending but somehow that doesn't process with them. Trans people just want to go to the bathroom. I mean, you have a unisex bathroom in your house, right? So the new law that passed is just going to make things more difficult. The folks who are on our side, who we're trying to work with the legislators to put through amendments, initially had worked it out to where at public schools and colleges, every building would need to have a single-sex bathroom that would be available. And unfortunately, those amendments got stripped out. And so there just needs to be one bathroom available on campus, and it can be a porta potty. So, yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. I wish I had the solution to that, but just know that trans people in the bathroom are not there to harm you. And these laws are dangerous to any of us who may not conform to gender norms. I have shorter hair than most people. And if I wasn't wearing a dress and heels, if I walked into a bathroom, somebody might think I didn't belong there. So it doesn't only harm trans people. So if you are with one of the best things you can do is if you have a friend or a family member or someone who is trans or gender nonconforming, go to the bathroom with them. Just walk in there and be with them. Yes. They didn't write that into the law. It's very vague. Yeah, they're just harming people with no regard for how they're going to accomplish what they think they've written a law about.
In high schools anyway, teachers are assigned bathroom during breaks and lunchtime. And
Great.
that's not only for
got
that,
something else for you.
but all keeping it from smoking.
Anybody else questions? Michaela's got one. Two questions for you, Susan. The Greenville Library withdrawing, the Pride Month thing. Where are we on that? Is there any update? Thank you.
Michaela, do you want to help with that one? Come on up.
Yeah.
This is Michaela from South Carolina ACLU. She's one of my partners in crime.
Hi, my name is Michaela. I'm the upstate organizer with the ACLU. I'm pretty new in the role, so if you haven't seen me, that would be why. But yeah, with the Greenville Library case, I am an attorney, but I'm not an attorney with the ACLU. So I want to say that first and foremost. There hasn't been any big updates yet. We did hear from the judge, so they didn't throw out the case. So we're just still waiting for them to sign a date for another hearing so we can actually argue the case. But that's all I have right now. But yeah, it wasn't thrown out, so that's good news.
So the library asked them to throw it out and the judge said no.
Correct, yeah.
Can you tell us what the case is? Is it?
Yeah. So this was about the removing of pride displays and also removing books that depicted transgender characters in a good light from the teen section into the adult section. Yeah, so that was an issue too. This one specifically focuses on transgender issues and LGBTQ issues. I know in Pickens County, there was more so with anything race related was removed, but Greenville is more focused on LGBTQ issues.
Thank you, Michaela.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
absolutely.
Thank you, the ACLU. Okay, and this could be you too, Eric. What are the ways that individuals can get involved and support both of your organizations? Yeah.
PFLAG, we have meetings and have been having them for 33 years on the first Wednesday of the month at the American Red Cross, 940 Grove Road, across from the hospital. We would love, and those meetings are open to everyone, LGBTQ people, their families, allies, anyone who is friendly to our community is welcome at those meetings. And we each meeting have an opportunity to give support to the people who are there. We also have Queer Joy Craft Night in conjunction with our meetings. So some people come and they just do crafts. And so that happens. We have 2 rooms at the Red Cross where we can have both of those things going on at the same time. Once you are coming to PFLAG meetings, you can figure out what part of PFLAG where you want to use your talents, and we'll be happy to find a team or a committee that you can be part of. One of the best things that we're working on right now is we are having a lavender graduation, which is a graduation ceremony that honors folks in the LGBTQIA plus community. We got the idea last year when one of our high schoolers who was an outstanding student at their school, the school refused to use their name. And in fact, so the name that they had chosen but had not legally changed to yet had the same initial. And the parents suggested, can you just call out, R. Smith? And they're like, no, we can't. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So our lavender graduation will be an opportunity for people to have a certificate that says the name that they want. That name is going to be called out and they get to walk across the stage. We've got stoles and honor cords for them to wear. And so this year is our first year doing it, and we have decided that we will be doing it on the stage at the Colors of Pride Festival on June 27th. Our time period on stage starts at 1:20 p.m. So we're hoping that will raise the visibility of the lavender graduation. And then next year, we'll do something like rent a space like this and have a guest speaker and a catered dinner and make a big thing of it. But this year, we're just going to have as much fun as we can walking across the stage at the Colors of Pride Festival. So if it's the sort of thing that you're interested in, we've got a team of people working on that. And if you want to volunteer with event planning for things like that, we would love to have you. There are also other things, just like your organization does here. There are different committees. There are lots of ways to help. So come out to PFLAG or come talk to me tonight, and we'll find a way to get you connected if that's something that you want to do with your volunteer time.
Okay, thank you, Susan. And if you Google queer wellness or HQ Greenville, it comes right up. And I wanted to tell you also, if you have someone in your family or you have a friend who's kind of struggling with their identity or whatever, the amount of activities on HQ Greenville is mind blowing. I mean, I was reading it, I was like, oh, I do that. So it's a great resource, and I thank you for that. And this isn't really a question. Warehouse Theater has changed their bathrooms to be fully enclosed, and they're unisex. And they were unisex, now they're no longer unisex. What? Shh. Yeah.
Sunday, I noticed.
I'm shocked by that. I do not know. I'll have to ask because it may be. Yeah. Huh. That's really weird. Okay. Did they? That's so weird. Okay. Okay. That's too bad. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
About 6 months.
All right. Okay, couple notes. HQ Greenville, check that out. It's a great resource. You can Google PFLAG and that comes up. July 13th, our next meeting, second Monday, always the second Monday, 5:30 p.m. right here. Christian nationalism. It's gonna be amazing. 5:30. Yeah. Oh, it's 6. Well, 5:30 is when we gather. 6 is when it starts. Yeah. If you're interested, excuse me? Elizabeth Jemison. She's a Clemson professor, philosophy and religion. Pride Fest, if you're interested in volunteering, it could be a blast. I'm going to get my husband to go. Linda will be out there at the entrance, taking your names and signing you up. And I think that's all. I appreciate everybody who came tonight. I appreciate your support through my limping through these last 2 months. I had a great team behind me. Appreciate it all. So, candidate, yeah, come on. And do we have any other candidates in the audience? We have like a minute. Sorry, belated.
Hello, everyone. My name is Courtney McLean, and I am the Democratic nominee that will represent us on the ballot November 3rd of this year. And I'm sure all of you have seen the very encouraging numbers that we have seen from early voting. we ended up with 54% for the entire district being Democratic voters. That is amazing. And so if your family or if your friends haven't voted yet, please tell them to vote in the Democratic primary, because we are using those numbers to also let national people who are now paying attention to invest in our campaign. Yep. They are looking at us and they are seeing these numbers and they are saying that you can actually win this. Let's give you some funding. Let's give you some resources. So make sure that you all turn out if you can. And again, my name is Courtney McLean. We have some more of our cards over here. Our message is to elevate the upstate for everyone and not just the few, with focusing on bringing down the cost of living and increasing affordability in housing, healthcare, and education. So if you all,
where's your district?
yeah, oh yeah, the district is District 4. Yes, for Spartanburg and Greenville, of course, excluding the Cherokee area. And then if you are Simpsonville and above in Greenville, then you are in District 4. Anything under Simpsonville, you will be in District 3.
Okay,
Yes.
all right,
Thank you.
Courtney. We have some amazing candidates this year. We have a candidate for every House race across the state. And for people who say, you know, there's no one to vote for, that's not the case this year. And I've also told some people, like, can they win, Roxanne? And I'm like, you know what? This is the best chance we've ever had. People are mad. They want change. Talk to people, encourage them, give them a ride, get involved, you know, get on your social media, encourage people. We've got some great candidates like Courtney that are amazing. They're so well qualified. They're so impressive. We just need to get to the polls. So tomorrow's the day. Let's do it. Let's do it. And then let's do it again in the midterms. Thank you so much for coming. Drive safely.